What can I say about Mario Galaxy that hasn't been said before? It's a fantastic, unique experience that takes the motion controls of the Wii and thrusts Mario into the outer realm. A magnificent blend between the more open-ended sandbox-style Mario games and the linearity of the 2D Mario games, creating a wonderful concept that provided us with two of the greatest games ever released on the Nintendo Wii. And because these two games are held in such high esteem from the Nintendo fan base, naturally they want a third game in this style. They want a Galaxy 3, but will that happen? Is it still possible? Well, I'm going to talk about that in this video. And I'm going to start by mentioning that any game is possible. Nintendo has been known to throw incredible curveballs in the past, and we could definitely see a Galaxy 3 in the future. But how likely is it? Well, let's start with the people who actually make the game. Are they interested in making a Galaxy 3? Well, to know that, we have to go back a couple of years. Back to early 2016. In an interview with Eurogamer, Shigeru Miyamoto admitted that Galaxy 3 definitely was possible. Nintendo could make a new game as long as the hardware met the kind of vision that they had for it. Remember that 2016 was the era of the Wii U, and the Galaxy games were mainly controlled with the pointing components of the Wii Remote. And the Wii U gamepad didn't really fit the compatibility for that motion control. However, with the Nintendo Switch, the Joy-Cons are incredibly similar to the motion controls of the Wii Remote, and you could definitely have the pointer controls for collecting all of those star bits and whatnot in a Galaxy 3 on the Switch. The hardware is definitely not stopping this Galaxy 3 from happening, so I'm sure that Nintendo has definitely considered creating a Galaxy 3 because of this reason. Another reason pointing to the likelihood of a Galaxy 3 being released is that many elements from the original Super Mario Galaxy were carried over into 3D World. Nintendo probably figured that they couldn't make the Galaxy game of their vision, however they could take several of the elements that they liked implementing into the Galaxy games and put it into a new idea, being 3D World. Super Mario 3D World on the Wii U was definitely a great game, but it's not in the same style as the Galaxy games and definitely not in the same style as the sandbox style Mario titles. It's more of a 2D Mario game in 3D with the linearity component about it. Many fans love the Galaxy games because while it does have linearity, having you go from planet to planet, there definitely is a more open-endedness about it when you could explore the planets for different collectibles that you could find on them. There's a unique appeal to the Galaxy games that differentiates it from the rest of the Mario games, and while some try to group it in with the sandbox titles and some try to group it in with the more linear titles, I try to group them separately, and this is why we want a new Galaxy game. You don't necessarily get the same enjoyment out of 3D World or Odyssey that you get in the Galaxy games. There is a distinct uniqueness about it that makes it different. And having variety in the Mario series is a good thing. The worst thing for a platforming franchise is for it to get stale with the same types of games coming out over and over. This is why people got tired of the new Super Mario Bros. Games, because it's the exact same style and the exact same format every time. Yes, they're good games. I love the new Super Mario Bros. Games. However, it's time for a change. We've gone past that era now, and people are definitely not going to be hyped about a brand new Super Mario Bros. Game because it's been in that exact same format since 2006. But with that slight tangent aside, let's get back to Galaxy 3 for a minute. Many of you are thinking, okay, Odyssey came out last year. We just got a brand new 3D Mario game. Isn't it a tad early to be speculating on what the next one will be? And yes, that's right. It definitely is early to be speculating about what the next 3D Mario could be. However, I'm sure that in 2019, we're going to be getting a new main series installment in Mario. And whether that ends up being a new 2D Mario game, a follow-up to Super Mario Odyssey, or an entirely separate 3D Mario game concept, this is what I'm touching on. This video is mainly focused on long-term speculation, and I definitely don't expect anything that would be new to be released in 2018, especially on the caliber of Galaxy 3. Another reason pointing in favor of the Galaxy games getting another entry in their series is the sales. I think one of the main reasons that Galaxy 2 was created in the first place is just because Galaxy 1 had an incredible amount of sales. The higher-ups of Nintendo definitely appreciated the high amount of sales for Galaxy 1, so Galaxy 2 was basically a no-brainer. Now, Super Mario Odyssey is replicating those original sales of Galaxy, and it's selling really well. So, would Nintendo want to make an Odyssey 2? Here's the thing. The original Super Mario Galaxy sold over 11 million units on the Wii. But then Galaxy 2 came in and sold 7.5 million units. This definitely is a big drop. Now that is definitely expected out of a sequel. You shouldn't really expect the sequel to surpass the original, especially when it has the number 2 in the name. And will this affect Nintendo's mindset when creating a sequel to Super Mario Odyssey? Does Nintendo think it would just be easier to add downloadable content kingdoms into Super Mario Odyssey? I talked about that possibility in another video as well. Because of this new era that we're in for video games where downloadable content is a thing, and that wasn't really a thing back in the Wii era when the Galaxy games came out, it's definitely a possibility that we could get DLC kingdoms at Odyssey instead of a complete sequel to Odyssey. Nintendo might think there's more potential to make sales off of a revival of the Super Mario Galaxy series because of the incredible amount of hype around that, and maybe re-releasing 1 and 2 in HD as well, in a similar way to how Bayonetta 1 and 2 were released on the Nintendo Switch, and Bayonetta 3 is confirmed to be coming in the future. People might think that it's more of a new thing to be getting a Galaxy 3, a completely different concept of a 3D Mario game, as opposed to more of the content that we got in Mario Odyssey. 3D Mario games all have their amazing components about them, things that make them unique from each other, and reasons why I love each one of them. I'd love a sequel to Super Mario Odyssey, but do I think that's more likely than a Galaxy 3? I'm not really sure. It seems like that, but because Nintendo had the idea to make another Galaxy game, but decided not to because of the hardware, and now that the hardware looks really good for a Galaxy 3, and that Nintendo could probably have higher sales potential for that because they wouldn't have the massive decrease in sales that you would get from slapping the number 2 on Odyssey and making that just a blatant sequel. No, you'd be providing a new experience to the fans on the Nintendo Switch, many of which haven't played a Galaxy game before, so there would definitely be that appeal for them to go and pick up Galaxy 3. This game would provide people with the same enjoyment that they got out of the originals, exploring the planets in the Mario universe and going out of this world. Spoiler alert for Super Mario Odyssey if you haven't completed the game, I'm letting you know now. But at the end of Super Mario Odyssey, Mario is allowed to visit the moon. And this gave us a little tease of some physics that Nintendo could implement into another Mario game that takes place out of this world. You explore Super Mario Odyssey going around the globe through various kingdoms, but you end up on the moon, and it's a completely different environment. What if you attach the two universes together and allow Mario to now explore other planets instead of just one? In Galaxy 3, you could explore the rest of the universe that you weren't allowed to explore in Odyssey. That would definitely be something I'd love out of a new 3D Mario experience, but I'd really like to know what you think of this. Do you still think that it's possible that we get a Mario Galaxy 3? Let me know in the comment section down below, and be sure to subscribe because I'm going to be talking about the concept of a sequel to Super Mario Odyssey a bit more in a future video. Thank you so much for watching.